least, push Ebron's numbers down a bit. But he's still going to be better than anybody else as a tight end. And this is where you start to draw that line. Okay? After these 4 guys, it's a significant drop. Ebron is a significant drop from the top 3. So, number 5, we have Jared Cook for New Orleans. Now, this is not because of Jared Cook's talent, which is very good. Okay? Cook has been very consistent at producing numbers for bad teams with bad quarterbacks. Okay? Now he's got a fantastic quarterback, an elite Hall of Fame quarterback in Drew Brees. Does anybody remember what happened last time Drew Brees had a talented tight end? That's right, Jimmy Graham, who was the only tight end worth talking about outside of Gronkowski when he was playing for New Orleans. I expect a very similar relationship to develop. That's going to be hampered a bit by the emergence of Michael Thomas, who is the first true number 1 wide receiver that Drew Brees has had down in New Orleans. I mean, you're going to make arguments for Colston, but he didn't have the speed. He didn't have the overall talent that Michael Thomas has. So, yes, I think Jared Cook is going to do fantastic in this offense. I think he's going to get a lot of red zone targets. And Drew Brees, if nobody else, knows what to do with a tight end. So, it's not that he's a very talented player. Okay? At this point in his career, he has lost a step. We're putting him in this position because Drew Brees can make almost anybody a great fantasy player one week to another. And with Jared Cook's skill level, he will make him a great fantasy option every week. Now, next on the list is a coin flip. Okay? This is where we start taking risks. Where we think who might develop and pop this year who didn't necessarily show up last year. And I'm going here with O.J. Howard. I know. We don't know what this offense is going to be. Kinda. Okay? Bruce Arians is great at coaching offense. He really is. And at Pittsburgh and at Arizona, he was able to formulate some of the league's toughest offenses. Not necessarily highest scoring, but definitely tough. They knew how to just punch a team in the mouth. And I don't expect this experience to be very different in Tampa. He's going to turn that offense around very quickly, and a solid tight end is a very, very, very good option for an offense that wants to be tough. Okay? Throwing the ball to a man who can run over the shrinky-dink DBs that are in this league right now is a great option. So, O.J. Howard, I think, is going to have a far better year this year than he did the previous year. And last year, he unseated Brate, who was a great streaming option for number 1 tight end any given week before O.J. Howard really started just developing and pushing him to the bench. So, he unseated a talented tight end. Obviously, he's better. He's going to be even more so this season with a great offensive mind at the helm in Bruce Arians. Minnesota just re-signed Kyle Rudolph for very good reason. This man is Mr. Consistency. He is not a top-flight talent. He's not the biggest. He's not the strongest. He's not the fastest. But he runs solid routes. He is Mr. Dependable. Okay? Adam Thielen and Stefon Diggs are going to get the highlight reels in this offense. But because they are going to draw so much attention from a defense, somebody has to be left in single coverage. And that somebody is going to be a person who's playing at a position that's weird for matchups. Now, he is not a nightmare in matchups. There are linebackers that can line up with Kyle Rudolph. So this is going to be a strength of schedule kind of thing. You're going to have better production out of him when there's a bad linebacking core. or just a slow linebacking core. But he's better than the rest. Okay? Kyle Rudolph is not a premier talent, but he is a premier producer. He will be an every week number one tight end simply because this is a weak position still. There's turnover going on at tight end in the league right now. We are past the age of Gronkowski, and we are ushering in the era of the pass-catching running back. So, yeah, Kyle Rudolph is the line for me with extremely good tight ends. If you don't get one of these guys, you're getting an also-ran. So, draft a tight end earlier than you might think you should. Please. Trust me on this. You're going to find a running back or a wide receiver with similar enough point production to push that to further rounds. Tight end should be an early premium. If it's Travis Kelce, think of him in round one, late in round one. Late, not in the top 5, okay? Just late in round one. But if it's anybody else, you need to be thinking about them rounds 2 through, let's say, 5. Okay? If you don't have your number one tight end in those rounds, you're getting a bum. That said, the next tight end on my list is David Njoku. Okay? This is another gamble pick. We don't really know what he's going to develop into. But think of what else is out there on that offense. You have strong running back. You have a quarterback who showed a lot of flash last year and hopefully will develop to be better. You have 2 elite wide receivers. Who are they going to cover on defense? You're going to go after Beckham. You're going to go and make sure you're keying in on Kareem Hunt after week 4 when he's done serving his suspension for being a piece of crap. A lot of people are going to forget about Njoku. You know who's not going to forget about Njoku is Baker Mayfield. The man's smart, okay? He is going to develop into a Drew Brees type quarterback, okay? He knows how to manage a game plan already. He's only going to get better with that. The issue really with him is that getting better. How much better can he get? He was already a pretty polished product coming out of college. So is there a big leap that he can make? Or is it just baby steps from here on in? Regardless, if it's a giant leap or baby steps, the staff around him is far better than it was last season. And people like Njoku, who are developing, and Njoku's the kind of guy who can make a leap, okay? He was definitely physical gifts ahead of actual polish. Now that he's got time in the league to get some polish, he's got a quarterback yelling at him to be in the proper position. If you've paid attention at all to what the Browns are doing in the offseason and the film that's been released by the team from practices, you know that Baker Mayfield is all over these guys for where he wants them to be, and that's exactly what you want from your quarterback. Njoku will benefit from that, and his numbers will show it. So, after him we have Austin Hooper. I know, you're going to say, who the hell is that? Yeah, Atlanta has much better talent on that team all the way around.